It says live video is starting, but I'm going to wait till it's confirmed. Good Saturday morning, everyone, and welcome to my bedroom, actually, this morning. Constance reminded me, rightfully so, that I do my shows so much from the cold, dark, cave-like confines of my office with poor lighting in the background. She rightly pointed out that you probably are tired of seeing me in that old environment. So she set me up here in a corner of our bedroom and told me to be polite this morning. So I'm going to do it. As I pointed out, don't I look like a clean old man this morning? Anyway, I was thinking, I've got this a little event that I'm going to do, a bookstore event, sort of a book signing and little hellos to the neighborhood speech, and I'm going to bring my guitar and play a few songs. At a beautiful, cute little bookstore right down the street here. I walk over to it, and it's going to be in December, on December 17th, and I'm sort of getting ready to think about exactly what I'm going to do, because I don't know how many people are going to show up, or if anybody shows up. But it's booked as tarot, magic, and music. An evening with yours truly. And so I sort of wanted to talk about tarot in so much as lots of people who don't consider themselves occultists or magicians or mystical in any other way are still interested in tarot cards. So I thought it would be a good sort of unthreatening introduction to all of this stuff. And and I want to do that. And of course, I want to plug our own tarot deck here, Tarot Ceremonial Magic. But as my likely audience, the few people who will probably just trickle by the bookstore on the 17th, as many of them probably have no introduction whatsoever to magic and occultism and Qabalah and things like that. I was thinking, well, what's a good way for me to introduce those concepts in a very, very, very fundamental way, and in a way that people that aren't acquainted with the vocabulary of occultism, like many of us are might be able to approach it. And I was thinking, well, somewhere I've written something really short that might be might serve that purpose. And so I was going through my book. This is literally my latest issue from Wiser, Allow Me to Introduce, which is about 35 years of my introductions and prefaces and contributions to other authors' works. And I was thumbing through it, trying to exactly find where it was that I had published such a brief little introduction. And I finally found it about 10 minutes ago in my preface to Dr. John DeSalvo's Lost Art of Enochian Magic, Angels, Invocations, and Secrets. It's really a good book, okay? And everything DeSalvo writes is well worth looking into. Of course, he became famous with his book on the pyramids of Giza, and also he's done a marvelous work on the crystal skull, and he was fascinated with Enochian magic, and we became friends through correspondence, and I've appeared on his radio shows and things like that over the years. But anyway, that's where I found this particular literally few words that I'm going to actually use on the 17th to introduce the concepts of the tarot and Qabalah and Lon to my neighbors in Sacramento. So if you're in the area, please come by. Let them think that I'm a normal person. Okay. Anyway, here we go. I start talking about DeSalvo and Enochian, but it's only a few words here. So I was gratified beyond words when Dr. DeSalvo asked me to pen a few words for his marvelous work, and it is a marvelous work. I can say without hesitation that the reader is in for an exciting, provocative, and enlightening experience. For some of you, it may also be the beginning of an adventurous journey into self-discovery. Meaning, you might find yourself getting into Enochian magic and altering your next 40 years of life. So, it's a work that I believe could only have been written in the morning hours of the 21st century. Actually, it was written 2010, so this is 11 years ago. It's a work that I believe could only have been written in the morning hours of the 21st century, when advanced scientific thought is promising us an unprecedented understanding of the cosmos and the nature of matter and energy. As our astro and quantum physicists draw closer to the holy grail of a theory to explain it all, can it be possible that we're approaching the level of inquiry so profound that we'll soon be required to dramatically expand our level of consciousness in order to process the multi-dimensional answers? I believe the answer is yes. And as we penetrate ever deeper into these new frontiers of thought, we are confronted with the same fundamental issues and challenges that have faced spiritual scientists since the dawn of human consciousness. How was the universe created? How can it be limitless? What sustains it? Will it ever end? If so, how? What is the nature of time, space, reality, and consciousness? Who and what am I? Try as it might to do otherwise, when her musings soar to these heights, science is forced by the limitations of word images to evoke the metaphoric language of mythology, mysticism, and magic in her attempts to even discuss these transcendent matters. Why then should it be thought unscientific for us to explore these same issues directly by magical means? After all, for tens of thousands of years of human history, right up to the 18th century, magic was science. Magic is the mother of mathematics, astronomy, biology, chemistry, architecture, and medicine. It does us no good to argue that mythology, mysticism, and magic are irrational and illogical, for indeed the mysteries of astrophysics and quantum mechanics appear to be so as well. For the better part of 1,000 years, adepts of the Holy Qabalah, okay, and then I pause to say, the word is based on 3 Hebrew letters, Kuf Lamed Daleth. It is often rendered Qabalah, Qabalah, or Qabalah and knock that H off, or Qabalah with a C, or Qabalah with a K, or a Qabalah with a K and 2 B's. And as Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford says, spell it any way you want. Okay, I'll back up. For a better part of 1,000 years, adepts of the Holy Qabalah, and I spelled it K with 2 B's right in this book because it's Dr. DeSalvo's book, and I didn't want to presumptuously step out of comfortable spellings. I digress. I'll back up again. For a better part of 1,000 years, adepts of the Holy Qabalah, Judaism's esoteric science of the soul, have, by means of a variety of curious techniques, endeavored to use the mind to transcend the mind. I'm going to say that again, okay? Why do you study Qabalah? It seems so mental. It seems so, yeah. Qabalah is a variety of curious techniques endeavored to use the mind. Okay. I'll back up that sentence one more time. Put it in context here. For the better part of 1,000 years, adepts of the Holy Qabalah, Judaism's esoteric science of the soul, have, by means of a variety of curious techniques, endeavored to use the mind to transcend the mind. For the sake of convenience, they view God as the absolute and supreme consciousness of the universe, and individual humans as miniature reflections of that supreme consciousness. Quote, man made in the image of God, unquote. Just as my reflection in the bathroom mirror lives only because of my living presence, so too do I exist as the reflected unit of the supreme consciousness. My seemingly separation from God is as illusionary a phenomenon as my reflection in the mirror mistakenly believing itself real and somehow estranged from the physical me on the other side of the looking glass. Because God and humans are 2 aspects of the same consciousness, Kabbalists view us both as being divided, or categorized would be a better word, categorized into 4 main levels of consciousness. The lowest level, as an aspect of supreme consciousness, the lowest level is the material plane itself. Example, this rocking chair. For us, as an aspect of the individual consciousness, this level manifests as our physical bodies. And if we were going to put that in tarot terms, that's the world of discs. The next level, as an aspect of supreme consciousness, is the formative plane, where exist the patterns of everything that will manifest on the material plane. A specific example is the idea or concept of a rocking chair. the idea of this rocking chair, a pattern in the mind of this rocking chair. Kabbalists call this world the world of angels. And in tarot, that would be the world of swords. For us, as an aspect of the individual consciousness, this level is our intellect, our mind's eye. Above that, as an aspect of supreme consciousness, is the creative plane, where great general principles of the universe are generated. Specific example, the concept of sitting down in a sitting down device, which will formulate as an idea in swords, which will actually manifest as a chair in the world of discs. Kabbalists call this world the world of archangels. Archangels are the big generals, and just angels are work for the generals. And that's the world of cups in the tarot. For us, as an aspect of individual consciousness, this level manifests as mysterious powers of intuition. Example, when a mother wakes up at night when her child has been in an accident far away, an ability to transcend logic, time, and space. Above this, and at the top of these Kabbalistic worlds, as an aspect of supreme consciousness, is the archetypal plane. For all intents and purposes, we could consider this consciousness of Godhead itself. So, at this level, when we're talking about chairs down on the material plane and the blueprint of our ideas of chairs on the formative plane, and the idea of just general ass resting up there in the archangelic plane of cups, this is such a general idea of just rest, the universal idea of rest, all sorts of rest. Okay, it is fundamental. It's almost blending into Godhead itself. Okay. The specific example of the universal concept of rest. Now, for us individually, as individual aspects of consciousness, it's simply the life force itself. Ultimately, that's our true identity. And tarot would put that in the world of wands. Wands, cups, swords, discs, fire, water, air, earth. Yod, He, Vav, He. In the metaphoric language of Hebrew mysticism, the mechanics of creation and the cooperative symphony of all the natural forces of the cosmos are a well-ordered hierarchy of spiritual agencies, archangels, angels, spirits, and demons. We also have our special place in this hierarchy and a special duty to perform. As humans living on the material plane, we are the culmination of the process. We resonate with a full collection of the echoes of the entire creational cycle. Each of us, as a monad of supreme consciousness, is a tuning fork, vibrating as the pure lower harmonic of the absolute note. It is the job. Indeed, I believe it is the destiny of each of us to raise our consciousness step by step, octave by octave, back to Godhead. This is the true initiatory adventure. Each one of us are destined to undertake it. This is the great work. One branch of Kabbalistic philosophy views the cycle of the descent into matter and the return journey as a 10-step process. The roadmap being the schematic diagram called the Tree of Life. Okay, and in the tarot, that would be represented by the ace and the 9 small cards. Enochian vision magic of Dr. John Dee, however, divides the trip. It's the same trip, everyone, but it divides the trip not into 10 levels, but into 30. And it is the step-by-step exploration of these 30 aethers or heavens of divine human consciousness that is the fascinating subject of Dr. DeSalvo's bold and visionary experience. That's my Saturday presentation for today. In trying to prepare for it, I think I've got some ideas of what I'm going to say down at the East Village Bookstore or Bookshop on December 17th. Tomorrow we'll get together, maybe here in the bedroom again. It's a much pleasanter background than we're used to seeing. Look at our bare lamp. We've had that lamp for well over 50 years, I think. Well, anyway, see you tomorrow for Sunday school. So until then, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other, enjoy your weekend. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.